wake up in the morning, feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders. I want to move closer, but I don't control it. I know I've been trying, the door isn't open. I know it sounds funny, but really though, in the beginning we really close. Now we just cruising up on the coast. Don't want to lose you, I really don't. My God, I'm working so hard. I let my guards down and I'm feeling so far. You won't cut me off and I'm ready to grow and I'm ready to know you more. Please, I honestly say I'm mature. It ain't my decision, it's yours. But I will persuade with my arm, cause I'm ready to run to your arms. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored. I go back and forth when I feel your presence. I'm above the world, there isn't much better, but then I fall levels and levels below it. Don't know where I'm going, don't know where I'm holding. I say I gave up, but I know I didn't. It's just my frustration, I'm only human. I act like I know what I'm really doing, as long as it's you that I'm really choosing. I will never give up, no, I wanna do it your way. You're the king of the world, only wanna do what you say. I know that it's possible to give back my heart to you, do it that you choose. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored. I know that you love me, I really do. Just wanna do right by you till it's through. Please don't ignore me, please just adore me. Wanna be closer to you. I just wanna make you happy. A shining light looking right at me. I give to you gladly, that's my reaction. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored.
Okay.
Welcome to Parents and Pennies, where family meets financing and every dollar counts. Brought to you by MITM Business Consultants. Join your hosts, Art Abrahamian, with over 12 years of experience in finance, banking, and business advising, and Roy Rosales, a father of two and coach to many, who has an extensive background in real estate. These two family men are here for you, bringing real stories, practical tips, and financial wisdom every week to keep your family thriving. They'll help you secure your family's financial future through simple, memorable financial adjustments that will help you achieve your financial goals. Because when it comes to family and finances, it's not about having more, it's about making the most of what you have. Here's Art and Roy.
What is going on, everybody? Episode 5, Parents and Pennies. We We broke the 5 mark now. What's going on, Roy? How you doing?
I'm truly blessed, man. Shout out to these 4 most important people, most important things in my life, which God, right? Family, clients, and my football players and kids that I've taught around the last decade. So, love you guys.
Coach to many.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, buddy. How's it going? How are you?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah,
Today's
you're looking clean
dude.
today, man.
Mr. Clean with the bald head coming out.
But you weren't all black out today. You know what I mean? You look all like incognito type of thing right now.
I'm that privacy browser in your phone right now.
Hey, man.
I'm just cruising. Today's topic's a good one, dude. I think we're just gonna ease into the end of this year with some interesting topics, and today's podcast name is called "Not Today, Mr. Jones." And why it's titled that is because I'm sure you've heard of Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Yes.
Yes. So we're going to talk about that and the negative impacts and why it's not as important as you think it is.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. When I was doing my research for this, I didn't realize that term came from 1913.
I was just reading that right now, right? It's just, dang, Keeping Up with the Joneses. It's just, dang, more than 100 years now. So that's crazy.
111 years coming up on 12, and it just depicted social pressure to match the perceived wealth of neighbors.
So social pressure to match.
Yeah. So essentially the neighbor just got this new car. I need a new car. Oh, they got a new dog. I need a new dog. Oh, they just got their grass done. I need to go get my grass done. And, 60% of Americans admit to feeling pressure to match their friends and neighbors' spending habits, which is crazy. I mean,
60%?
That's 6 out of every 10 people you come across literally spend money because they feel the pressure to spend that money.
So basically, I look at you and you're like, oh, that's a nice jacket. I need to up him. So I need to go buy myself a nice jacket.
It's either match or up them, right? And then it just becomes this thing where it's like, okay, and then now are you going to play? Are we gonna go back and forth with each other on who's gonna keeping up with these Joneses? So it's crazy when you really think about it. Like, social media amplifies, the phenomenon with 40% of users literally buying purchases at impulse after watching some review on YouTube or Google or on any of these platforms, TikTok, Instagram. And it's really funny. Like, you talk about one thing, I'm sure you've done that. Like, you talking to your friend, you say something, and then boom, it's on your phone.
Yeah. Oh, I believe you me. It has, and it's crazy, but that's why, whatever you're talking about, just know that people are hearing.
Yeah. And then not only that, but when you start watching those videos, that's all you're going to get is it's pushing the algorithm on you. Like, oh, we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that. I don't even know. My Instagram right now is literally full of mobile saunas. And it was funny. So, because I love to use the sauna. That's one of my biggest, anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge sauna guy. When I work out, after my workout, that's my most favorite thing to do is I hop in the sauna when I go to In Shape in Cat City. And
shout out to In Shape.
Sponsor In Shape.
Yeah.
But so I was like, oh, I wonder how much one of these are. I didn't know you could get an indoor one. I mean, I thought you'd have to put a lot of money into it, but I was like, oh, okay, well, it's interesting. I like using the sauna, and it's winter right now, so it'd be perfect. So I go, all right, let me see how much it would cost. And the one that Instagram was pushing to me was $270. Well, all of a sudden, I'm like, let me check Amazon. The ones on Amazon are like $90, $100 for the same thing, but Instagram's pushing me a $250 one because these drop shippers, what they're doing is instead of me ordering through the manufacturer, they put their brand or logo on it, and then they up the price to $150. So I haven't bought the sauna yet, but I might. But I'm gonna get the Amazon version. That is the exact same sauna. I looked at the design. I looked at the portable steam thing, and it was exactly the same. So even I can say that I wasn't looking for a sauna, but that's more because I had ignorance there. I didn't know that they had indoor saunas. But now it's cool. I found one, but I didn't I guess I did let pressure and I didn't let pressure, right? Like I let the pressure of, oh, I can have this item. I want this item. But I stopped myself from going, well, let's just dive first into the first thing I see without doing some research.
Yeah. Well, that's, again, it took you a little bit to look into it, and then you found something that is the same, identical, but it's like, and definitely more than half of the,
Yeah, it
the
was like
price.
80% cheap.
So, you're already saving yourself there. But again, right? Is it want? Is it need? But also, like,
It's a want. It's a want.
But the thing is, it's for your health too, right? Like you just recently lost more than 270 pounds. Like you want to be keeping it off, and sauna is part of that too.
Yeah.
So it's recovery. It actually releases some a lot of your stress, and you take a breather in there. So it's a lot of positivity of what you're buying.
Right.
And it's not like you're competing. Like Roy has a sauna, I need a sauna.
Yeah.
I need a better one. I need something with this. This one has this, Roy, not yours. So it's not, you're not competing to buying that. It's just for you. But the thing is,
I wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for social media.
Yeah, true that. But also, you know what I mean? It goes along the way of, are you educating yourself and informing yourself? Am I purchasing the right one, though?
Yeah.
I want something like this, but am I purchasing the right one right now?
Yeah.
So,
and 260 was way not the right one. I was like, it looked good. Trust me, the ads that they were sending me, the videos that came with it, they looked good. It made the product look way better than the pictures on Amazon. But that's, I always tell people, I'm like, remember something when you go to a business. Sometimes you're buying words.
Yeah.
You're not buying quality. You're just buying words. And I'm not interested in buying words. I'm interested in buying quality. So it's like, if the words are alongside the quality, then fantastic. But that Instagram video that was pushed to me was strictly, hey, you're buying words.
Yeah.
But it's a $90 sauna, not almost $3. After shipping like $300. But going back into that, like, Roy, check this out. So you look at, the debt impact that Keeping Up with the Jones has on it. The average American household carries $7,951 in credit card debt, and it's fueled by lifestyle competition. Meaning,
so almost $8,000 you are in debt
because you want to compete in lifestyle with the people around you.
That's including clothes. That's including
chains.
Well,
brand name, chains. You will go in debt for them. We talk about this all the time. It's like, who cares what the logo on the shirt says? But you're paying, like I see these Jordans and stuff that people are paying like $600-700 for them. Like, you guys are out of your mind. And then they don't want to wear them. I bought these shoes. You can't crease them. Can't do this. Can't wear them here. I've literally seen grown men on the streets take their shoes off and walk on something with their bare feet and socks because they don't want to
crease them.
They don't want to crease them. They don't want to get their shoes dirty. And I'm just like, you paid $400 for shoes and you're using socks.
Yeah.
You can't even walk on them.
Talk about that. I have shout out to, Daniel Romero. He's Clean Kicks in Instagram. And he cleans your shoes, man, between $10 and $15, and he cleans your pair, bro. When I took it to him, I was like, man,
I wish
whatever.
You told me that before, bro. I just spent $60 on a shoe cleaning kit at the Tamale Festival,
bro. Damn
it,
legit, and I can show you before and after pictures. Before taking it to him, I'm like, we'll see what he does, bro. It was like I got a brand new shoe. And it cost me, I invested $15. When those shoes, if I wanted to buy them again, to make them look like that again, would have cost me $100.
Yeah.
And those are little things, that I learned is, and also one thing that one of my mentors told me, and he's like, Roy, do you know how long a new car smell lasts? And I'm like, I don't know, a year, 2 years? He's like, 3 months. He's like, you're only going to smell that new car for 3 months.
I don't even like that smell.
And after 3 months, it's whatever else you put.
Yeah.
So, it's not necessarily like, and they're like, I still have this same car 5 years, and I put an air freshener, I'm good. But people that want the new stuff. I want to smell it like this and all that, and they just buy new car. They just get back into debt. All those things. It's like it only lasts 3 months. And
Yeah.
that
But the
really
debt
tripped me out.
lasts 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. I saw one that was wild. It was 10 years. Actually, it was almost 10 years. It was like 9 years and like 9 months. These was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, you might as well have just you might as well live in this thing because it's like a mortgage at this point. 10 years? What are you paying a car off for 10 years? But 70% of those people 70% of people who attempt to keep up end up increasing their financial stress and overall debt load. So it's like 7 out of 10 people. The average American is in 8,000. That just means if you factor in every American in this country and you put them all together, we're at 8,000. There are people who are way over. There are people who are way under. But the average, that's putting 400 million people together. That's pretty scary that the average on 400 million people is $8,000 in debt to keep up with their neighbors, right? But then you factor in 70% of those people attempt to keep up. All they're doing is increasing their debt load and their financial stress. And it's like, for what, dude? Because your neighbor bought a new lawnmower that he can ride around in, and it's like, I just don't get it. Consumerism is becoming a plague amongst the population, and like we can't say that we're avoiding it because we buy stuff all the time too. We just do it mindful. Like we're mindful about our purchases, and we look at other opportunities and other deals and see what's out there. And it's like, it's not a matter of can you afford, it's a matter of rushing into something never gets you into anything good. So why rush into purchases and debt specifically? Like if you have the cash, okay, you made a bad choice, whatever. But it's one thing when you made a bad choice and then now you're lingers and you're paying interest on that bad choice.
That's what, and it is crazy. We're gonna be using the word crazy a lot, but that's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just life itself is work. It's challenging. It's hard itself. But now you're actually competing against someone that, like what? It's just you're adding more stress to your life. You're adding more stress to your partner's life. Look at the habits that you're putting in your kids' life. Like they're seeing it.
Yeah.
Even though you not say it or anything, they're seeing what you do.
Yeah.
And what you look at and what needs to be addressed. And you're again talking about a family tree. Look how it can go down that family tree that now your kids are involved in that type of, it's not, if you don't buy me these shoes, then I don't want anything.
Yeah. You remember that show, Sweet 16?
Yeah.
You remember that? You remember when those kids would be like, I didn't get a car. I hate this. I don't want this party.
And it was a Mercedes, and I was like,
yeah, it was like, that's not the car I wanted. Or it's like, dang, you got a car at 16?
A big ass party like that. You got the rapper. You got this person who sing,
no, it's crazy.
and you still. It's just again our principles, our way. Those are things that are you're like whoa.
What's important?
Yeah, what's important? Because now you definitely wanted that drama, right? That popularity or that, I think it's acceptance for everyone.
Yeah.
When realistically, not everyone is gonna accept you, regardless if you're true to yourself.
I don't know if I ever told you this story. I had a client one time whose mom came to me and she's like, hey, and the daughter got into a severe accident. So her boyfriend or some guy she was talking to, they were like 16 at the time, took her up 74. He rolled his car and she was pinned. He and her were both pinned in the car. They had rolled off the side of the 74 highway and they were pinned against a bunch of like rocks and this and that. So it took like 6 hours for a crane to come get them out. And she suffered severe injuries and, lawsuit happened. She won a ton of money because she sued the insurance company of the kid that took her. And the mom came to me because she was a client of mine and she's like, I'm worried about my daughter. She's going to receive a lot of money that by the time the money had come, she was already 18. Or she was turning 18, so the money was going to be released to her. And the mom's like, I'm worried, and I want you to talk to her. I said, okay. And she said, what are you going to talk to her about? I said, I don't know yet. I'll figure it out when she gets here. Because I don't, I have my methodologies, and I don't want to tell people what they are, because then they're going to try to change them, even though most of the stuff that I have is tested and works. Yeah. So day comes and the daughter comes to my office. Not this one. This is when I was working at the bank at the time. And the mom has no idea what I'm about to say. And I go, hey, you know, what happened? This happened. How much money did you receive? Oh, this many million. Okay, fantastic. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 140,000 out of this couple million, and I want you to go spend it. But you have rules. And the mom's looking at me like, Art, what the hell?
Yeah.
What do you mean telling her to go spend 140 G's, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, just relax.
Yeah.
And I gave her some rules. I said, you can go buy whatever you want. Here's the cap on the price. You can't buy anything over 10,000 because otherwise you buy one thing at 140, you don't get it out of your system.
You're done. Yeah.
So I said, you can't buy more than one $10,000 item at a time. That's the cap per item limit. So you can buy 14 10s, but you can't buy one 140.
Yeah.
I said, you can't buy a car with it. You can't buy a boat, but you can buy like bags, jewels, accessory, but it can't go over 10. And I said, and you cannot spend this money on your friends. No matter what, you cannot spend it on your friends. Mom's mad at me, dude. The daughter, she tells the daughter to go wait in the car. She's like, I brought her here to talk to you about this and this. I said, listen, if you want your daughter not to blow this money by the time she's 21, you need to just trust me. You trusted her to bring me here. You need to trust me in why this is going to work out. So like 2.5 weeks go by. She comes back. The mom's finally chilled out because she saw why what I said, why it worked, and I'll explain why it worked. So essentially what had happened was this girl was spending money, but when her friends kept trying to push her to buy them things, she's like, I can't. This money's only meant for my stuff, and I can't buy it for me and give it to you. She had no more friends.
Wow.
And she only got about 80 grand of it through. And then comes to me and goes, Art, I think I want to start buying assets, like properties and buildings and this and that. And I looked at the mom and I said, shut your ass.
Yeah. Well, wait. That is so valuable thing that you had her learn, right? Like, wow, that's incredible. That's incredible because that only sets you up for strong foundation, right? And also feel strong, confidently enough to, I can't buy it for you. This is I can only do it for me. That's part of the rules, right? That is so important for us to really understand is the money that you make is for you.
Yeah. And
Not for them, right? For you and your partner and your kids. Like, dang, man, I just learned something right there, which we do, but never put you the way you put it. That's incredible. You know, especially at 18 years old.
Well, I accelerated her life lesson pretty quickly because one, I taught her that you can buy whatever you want now. But those things aren't going to be the reason you end up happy. Two, you need to be careful who you allow in your life because you're going to start noticing that people are going to start trying to gravitate towards you because you can do something for them and not that you'd like to do something for them. So like I said, she ended up with no friends.
Yeah.
And she was grateful. And she came to me and I said, how are your friends? And she goes, I don't have any friends anymore. I said, why is that? And she goes, because I refused to spend on them. They got mad at me and said that I changed, the money changed me. I said, no, the money didn't change you. All the money did was show you who they are.
Yeah.
And I said, so how much did you spend? She's like, oh, I think I spent like 70 or 80,000. I said, how come you didn't spend the 140? She goes, I ran out of stuff.
Yeah.
She goes, I just didn't really want anything else. And then when I started realizing that I have all these things that I bought and the people that were in my life who were my friends aren't really my friends. And then I'm looking at the rest of my money. It's like, I just spent 80 grand that I can't get back. And I only have this much. And I was like, congratulations. Like, you just did 10 years worth of growth and development in 2 weeks.
Dang. It like, what if everyone got that chance, right?
Yeah.
What if everyone has that chance, but what if you receive $1 million today? Do you know?
Yeah. Do you know what to do?
Do you know who you're gonna be surrounding yourself with? Right? Yeah. Like, are you asking Art or are you asking someone that is just gonna, let's go ball out. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go here.
Let's go to Vegas on your dime. Not my dime.
Yeah.
Let's go to Vegas on your dime.
Yeah. And get this, bro. You're gonna look cool. You're gonna look good. You're gonna da. And now, that's something if someone to really think about right now. you don't need to have it, but you can you can really manifest, right? And think about and visualize. If I were to receive $1 million today, what would I do? How would I spend it?
Yeah.
How would I invest it? How would I help others, or how would I do this? Like, if you don't have an answer, then that's why one of those things you need to sit down and get educated. Because when God blesses you with that amount, it might not be $1 million, but He may get you a better job. He may get you a better job that you're just getting way more money than you ever thought.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to handle it, regardless of how much of an income you have, and
You're still
in
gonna be
debt,
broke.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like how you tell a millionaire that is broke, spend $1,000,001.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
you can go broke spending. You can go broke making $10 million a year. Just spend more than $10 million a year, and you'll be broke.
And you're broke. So it's so inspiring to hear that, because tomorrow, right, Alan and I, we're gonna go to a high school at Coachella Valley High School and talk to the seniors, right? And that's one thing that Alan and I have been talking for the last 4 years. Like, how can we get a foot in the door into speaking with seniors? Because if we can get them now, at least just to say it, right? To say it, because if they hear it, at least they're going to have it in their head to at least think about it in the near future.
Yeah.
Or if they want to know more, now at least they heard it, right? And or they know who to talk to. They reach out. And it's so exciting to do that, because we can be the difference between them having us, like you just showed that girl how to not go to 10 years of that,
Yeah.
you know, and do it in 2 weeks, or doing within 2 years. Like, now you can become that blessing that generational wealth now in their life is growing,
Yeah.
instead of generational debt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the important thing, right? Is like, you know, avoiding the tips to to avoid keeping up with the Jones. The first one we have on the list is set personal financial goals.
yeah,
If you're too busy, you should be more busy trying to figure out what you're trying to accomplish with your life than what you're trying to spend to keep up with your neighbor.
Yeah.
Right? And if you prioritize your financial goals over what your neighbors and your friends think about you, you're already on your step to success, right? Practicing gratitude is very important. We talk about having humility. We talk about being humble. We talk about accepting when you don't know something and accepting help when you need it. Reflecting on what you already have reduces the urge for unnecessary spending.
Yeah.
So one of the things, like, you know, we asked my daughter, my wife and I asked my daughter, you know, Sophia, what do you want for Christmas? And you want to know the moment I realized that my kid has too much stuff? Her answer was looking around and just naming random items that she saw. She literally saw one of my keyboards for my computer, because, you know, we're in construction, so my office is no longer my office.
Yeah,
I have my
it's everywhere.
computer set up in my kitchen. And she saw my keyboard, and she's like, oh, I need a keyboard. And I got upset, because I'm like, I told my wife, I said, we shouldn't even get her anything for Christmas. Because she's literally just looking around and going, oh, crap, I'm going to buy, I need toys, I need things. But I have so many things that I don't even know what I want.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna look around, and she's like, a keyboard, another doll, another this, and we're like, no, you already have plenty of those. Give us something else. What about that? Oh no, we already have plenty of those. And a keyboard. I'm like, you don't even have a computer. What do you need a keyboard for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when I realized there's a problem. So the wife and I had a very serious, stern conversation of like, this is not healthy in development, and this is definitely a show that we are over supplying.
Yeah.
And we're doing that because we didn't get it. So we're just trying to give our kid what we didn't have. But all we're doing is setting her up for failure, because she's going to go through life thinking when you want something, it just comes. Yeah. And not understanding that you don't need, sometimes you just don't need something. My wife's like, but it's Christmas. We got to get her something. I'm like, okay, we can get her something, but we're going to get something that's not toy related.
Yeah.
Whether that's a trip, go get tickets to go to spend time together, like you're always saying, where it's like getting time together. Maybe we might go to Universal Studios or something. That'll be the gift. But I'm not buying toys. I have set that stern. I don't care what she's gonna open up on Christmas Day, and I'm not buying toys. My mom, my dad, her uncle, my brother, you know, they'll buy her
something,
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about her waking up to an empty tree. That's not it. What I'm worried about is my daughter growing up and being a spoiled brat and thinking that the world is so materialistic that it gets to the point that you just look around and go, well, I need that, I need this, I need this, I need that. And you have no purpose for any of those things.
And that's great. And again, to everyone here listening in the podcast, we're keeping it real. This is Parents and Pennies for a reason. Right? We're not perfect. We're not a done deal. We're not well done. We're still learning. We're still trying. We're still learning, right? We're still learning how to be parents. We're still learning how to, save every penny, right? And understanding like, hey, man, you just lived 20-something years and you had a habit that you didn't even know it was a bad habit. And then you trying to change it. You give yourself another 10, 15 years for you to get so much better, master it, right? So, when he talks about this, guys, he's saying the truth. Like, hey, I saw that in my daughter. But the good thing is you're seeing it now versus when she's actually 16. And now you're like, damn, I have to get her in this ballroom. Damn, I'm going to have to buy her that Mercedes. Damn, I'm going to have to do this now because now my daughter is in control.
Kia, baby. $200 is all I'm spending on your car.
As long as it drives and
exactly.
four wheels.
Keeps her safe and drives, and it's fine. You don't need your first car is not going to be a Mercedes that you get to bang up and beat up and hit on the curb and hit it on the curb.
Yep, that's true, and and that's so true. And also having them. Well, for me, I have my kids wash the cars, right? I have them wash here and there. I wash them that way they can look how long it takes and also the hard work it takes for us to wash this car. Don't just tell me to go through a car wash and do it, right? So you got to know what it takes to do this so you can value that more because you're taking care of it.
I think more than anything else too, it's like, just to add to your point, it's like we are growing as parents because our kids are growing.
Yeah.
We didn't know this beforehand, and as our kids grow we start to notice these things that aren't like problems. Like, our kids aren't bad because of it. It's just a direct result of the things we've been doing wrong because it's not their fault that they act a certain way. It's our fault that they act a certain way. And I'm grateful for my daughter. I'm not complaining about her, and I understand that habit that's being formed is because of me. And we talk about it in every podcast where it's like, who's the finger getting pointed at? It has to come back to the person in the mirror. Because if you're going to sit there and blame a 5-year-old for her actions and not the 30-year-old that is raising the 5-year-old for this action that she's developed, then your priorities are all messed up. So it's like, as you say, we're not perfect. Are we the most successful business people on the planet? Absolutely not. Are we the best parents in the world? Absolutely not. Are we the best husbands in the world? Absolutely not. Is there such a thing? I don't think so. No. Because I feel like that goalpost is constantly moving and you're growing, trying to get closer and closer. As our families grow, we grow. As our kids grow, we grow. As our businesses grow, we grow. And it just, we're in a constant state of growth. As our friends grow, we grow. As, it's just, it's all about that. And, I'm going to skip to a few of these because you talk about this all the time, and it's surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
It's like, forget the guys that are all about spending your money and start getting with the people who are all about making money.
Yeah. Well, it's just think differently. Right now, we went to a meeting, and we got off from the lunch and everything, and one of my closest friends says, I'm gonna need to buy a car, right? That she's gonna need to buy a car, and we're talking. I was like, hey, you should get a Cadillac. Hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do that. And the husband goes, let's think about buying our next home, our next property, our next investment versus the next car. And that's, again, right? Having those people around you get you centered right away versus you going into that path. And in surrounding yourself with people like that will always keep you in a straight line. It keeps you grounded, and also it keeps you focused, right? It keeps you so focused, and now you're intentional about what you're doing, and you're motivating each other to do it. But if you don't gather yourself right with the right people, that one wrong person can cost you from your purpose.
Yeah.
And, is it worth it? No, it's not. I'll tell you that right now. No, it's not worth it. Find the right people, the people that cheer for you, the people that cheer for you, that clap for you when it doesn't matter how big that win is. If the ones that clap for you, the ones that cheer for you when you're winning, bro, those are the ones that you wanna
absolutely. Because those are the people who are there for you. Want to see,
Exactly.
not the people who are under their breath and then, oh, I hate that dude. He shouldn't get it. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't this, doesn't that.
Yeah.
Look, I've been robbed of certain things, not like physically, but like working in corporate America, when you see bureaucracy nonsense where you're topping in at the top of the charts year after year, and then I'm guilty of that. I grew a big resentment of that because there was a certain point where I was looking at all these other people and I'm like, bro, they don't deserve that.
Yeah.
And I was like, statistically, I can show you that they don't deserve that. And then it made me super bitter.
I'm right with you. I went through that too, and I hated it. I hated not my life, but I hated the situation that I just became that person.
Yeah.
And you noticed it, like it was eating you inside. Like, how this person, what, how are they getting that schedule better than mine? Why am I getting the afternoons? What, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when it's like time and time again, that person's unreliable, doesn't have the praises that I have, doesn't have the numbers that I have, doesn't have the work ethic that I have yet. Because I choose to speak out, I get punished by not getting, what's owed to me. Because there's a certain level of like when you feel like something's owed to you, and it's hard, right? Because it's like, it made my performance worse.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to be worse. I said, well, cool, I'm going to dumb it down because apparently I'm too good at what I do, so I need to bring it down a notch to match that level.
Yeah.
And, it's like, it's
But
bad.
that's not you though, right? Like you can't dumb it down because you are actually good at what you do. And you can't lower your performance because you know that I can do more, right?
Yeah.
Like that's it's man, damn, that you just brought back some memories right now, bro. Like, I just, man, I was so happy. It's happy, and then that things like that happen, and it's just, that's that one person, or it's just or the work environment too, man. It just sucks if you see that right away, and that it's not helping you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Like, hey, let's look. There's always companies. There's always businesses that are looking for the right people.
Yeah.
You just haven't found it yet. Keep searching. Don't ever feel that you're stuck, guys. Don't ever feel that you're stuck.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's like a domestically abusive relationship. Like, you constantly think things are going to get better. You start blaming yourself. Oh, I'm the reason that I got hit. Oh, I'm the reason that this happened. But sometimes you have to just like wake up and say, I'm not the reason that any of these bad things happen, and I deserve better. Sure, I can sit here and wait for that promotion. Sure, I can sit here and wait. But why would I sit there and wait when there's a company actively looking?
Yeah.
I think the mindset has shifted completely, right? So our parents were the type that were like, get one job, stay there for the rest of your life, and retire.
Yeah.
And maybe back then that made sense. When the market wasn't so competitive, companies actually cared about their employees. CEOs actually cared. Dude, I remember when I was in my teens, I racked up a freaking phone bill. Because back in the day, unlimited phone wasn't a thing. You had minutes, you had certain texts that you could go through. And I think having a full plan was like $300 for the month. Well, I had a girlfriend, and it was in high school. And no, I was in middle school, actually. It was my first girlfriend in middle school. And we just texted a storm constantly, all day, texting. Bro, I get a call, and it's some older lady, and she's like, whose number is this? And I'm like, it's me, like as a kid with a broken voice. And it turns out it was her mom. She's like, I'm just trying to figure out why my daughter racked up $1,000 bill talking to this number. And I was like, oh, it's me. And I was like, oh, no. That means I racked up $1,000 bill too, dude. All the whooping I got for that. And it was like, all right, so we whacked it up. We call AT&T. We've been AT&T customers for a long time. And the AT&T, this was the person on the phone's like, I got it. Don't worry about it. We're going to waive this bill for you. That was in the early 2000s. And it's like, that doesn't exist anymore. Now it's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to pay it or we'll send you to collections and this. This was when companies actually cared about their clients and they could get away with being like, yeah, don't worry about it. I get it. You're a kid. No worries. I think what they ended up doing where they're like, what we'll do is we'll change your plan to unlimited. It'll be $300 for the month, but it won't be $1,200 for the month. And I was like, cool. And like, what about your girlfriend? Does she have ATM? I'm like, who cares about her? I'm not worried about her parents. I'm worried about my parents.
And that's, man, funny you brought that up because I went through that too. You know, they had that text chain. If you don't send this, it's gonna erase your email. Oh, well, there you go. Send it to 10 people. Then they send it to you. You gotta go send it again. And when you had those flip phones, yes, guys, flip phones with the dial, right? You could look at the teacher and still text at the same time.
Yep.
You knew where those numbers were at. So, and my mom got that bill, but the thing is, she called Verizon, right? And hey, I'm planning to go to Mexico, next month. What do I need to do? Da 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 da. And then the customer service was like, hey, whose number is this?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's my son. Is he in school? He's like, yeah. He's in high school. Well, are you sitting down? and then she's like, well, your son right now, your bill for next month is $1,400. Yeah. What's going on? Da, da, da. And then I was like, but look, because your billing cycle doesn't start till next week, I can change it to the unlimited plan.
Yeah.
And it's gonna cost about $200. Oh, thank you. Boom. She played me, bro. Well, she did for like, I think it was 3 months. She like, you can't have the phone. It's going to cost this. And I didn't know. I was like, oh, damn. And then after 3 months, she's like, here. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry, but and then she told me the truth. She's like, look, you're lucky. I called. It only cost us this amount more.
Yeah.
But it would have cost us $1,400.
Yeah, and I'm guaranteeing, like us, you didn't have that $1,400.
No, bro, $1,400 in that time was a lot.
Yeah,
bro.
That was a lot of money.
It's still a lot right now, but it's still like, you know what I mean? Like, that customer service base that they were willing to help her, and all that stuff.
Because they were all local. Like, look, dude, I got nothing against my Filipinos and my Indians. I love all you guys. But when you're when we're as a country outsourcing so many jobs overseas and paying these people $10 an hour, we're not going to get the customer service that we expect because I don't like it. Like, it's just what it is. Like, you got to keep your reps local. You got to keep your customer service local. You got to do all these things. It's just how it goes. And if you don't, keep those reps local, and it's like, how are you going to build value within the company? Because you don't even know who you're dealing with on the other end. They don't understand what's going on here. And it's like, dude, I did that with internet one time too. I did that with the internet plan. Back when the internet wasn't unlimited, you had to pay by the megabyte. LimeWire was huge. Everybody was downloading music and torrenting and this, and nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew what pirating was.
Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy. Bro, you put that song on every damn hit.
Yeah.
And you would download it. Damn, Soulja Boy song came up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's how you got famous. But damn, bro, like, I was just downloading that. Like,
and I remember, dude, I got a bill, $1,000 plus, and I was like, what? I don't this. And they're like, yeah, the internet's not free. And I don't think there was unlimited internet at that time. So I think I took a whooping and we ate that bill. Damn. But it's like, my parents were cool about it. They understood where it was like, we don't know this stuff. We just come to the country too. So it was like, it's kind of weird. But, moving on from that is,
from trauma.
From trauma.
The real trauma, guys. Like we we had to go through our things. Life stories. Again, we keeping it real. And we want you to know us, right? Because it's personal, and we want you to know our story, but also share what has worked for us and helped us, and paved our way, and also being thankful and show some gratitude to the people that helped along the way.
It's funny, we're talking about budgeting mindfully. I just saw this sticker on the bottom of my shoes. Look, dude, $85. I paid $50 because I get things on sale, bro. I get things on sale. And these are Tommy Hilfigers, so I didn't go and get some no-name brand, but it's like you can have nice things. You just don't have to pay full price. Let other people pay full price, and then wait till they go on clearance and go grab them.
Yeah.
I'm not dying for a new pair of shoes, but I was like, $50. These are great shoes. They're $100 shoes. I'll get them for $50, and I need to choose.
Well, and again, how many brands are out there?
Yeah.
How many new shoes are coming up every other week, every other month? Man, before you know it, the new shoe today is gonna be the old shoe 3 months, 6
Especially if you're
months.
into those Jordans and all that stuff. That's why I don't buy shoes like that. First of all, I don't care for shoes like that. I don't wear those kinds of sneakers. But two, I'm not interested in this like, oh, he's got some Air Force 2s and Nike 12s and Kobe 13. Like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just need a white pair of shoes. And Tommy Hilfiger makes great shoes. They have the memory foam on the inside. They were $90. I paid $50, and I think I got them for another 30% coupon too. So it's like, I think there's a difference between being smart and being cheap. Right? Like being cheap is being like, oh, for $10, I can get a protection plan on my device for the next 3 years. You don't get that. That's stupid. I just spent $2,000 on a fridge or something, and I'm not going to pay an extra $20 to insure it for the next 5 years. That's being cheap.
Yeah.
Being mindful about how you budget and spend, which is one of the topics to staying away from keeping up with the Joneses. Like, I will pay an extra $100, $200 to keep my investment running.
Yeah.
My dad, we're sharing stories. My dad is a great example of this. My brother and I ended up buying my parents a couple years back, like a gift. We said, hey, let's go in on it halvesies. We'll get mom and dad a whole new kitchen set. That came with, you remember when that was a thing, when they were selling the fridge, the washer, the stove, and the microwave. And this was like 2019. I think this was like really big before the shortages started with this stuff. And bro, my dad was, I think my dad spent more trying to fix the old fridge. Because every time you're like, oh, the ice machine's broken. Oh, this part's broken. I paid this guy $150. Then he bought the part. It was another $100. And it's like, you just spent $200 7 times to fix a fridge, and we just bought an entire new kitchen for you for $2,300. Like, that's being cheap. Yeah. My dad's like, oh, I don't care because this, and it's like, no, man, you gotta understand that, like, let a losing thing lose.
Yeah.
Stop fighting for it to stay alive for the next 30 years of your existence. Like, sometimes you have to accept that it's going to cost me more to not buy new than it is to repair this thing. And in my dad's case, was the perfect thing. It's like, you are spending thousands trying to fix something that needs to go. So, we took it upon ourselves and we said, all right, we'll get it on a good deal, because that's a great deal for that stuff.
Yeah.
Getting a full set of kitchen for like $2,000, and then we split it halfway. It's like, cool. We were mindful. We were planning. We ended up surprising them with this stuff, and just like most parents, I don't want it. And we're like, well, you don't have. He's like, where's my dishwasher?
Yeah.
Where's my stove? Like, you don't got a stove. You don't got a dishwasher. Wait till the new ones come in. So, it's stuff like that where it's like, there's a topic we're going to talk about where it's like adapt a minimalist mindset, right? That's good for keeping up with the Joneses, but you don't want to be so minimalist that you don't give yourself the opportunity to enjoy the luxuries of life, because you can enjoy the luxuries of life.
Yeah.
They don't have to cost you everything. It's as simple as my wife, what did she want? Oh, I already gave her her gift. She wanted a portable ice machine. So I got her one. I got it for her last night because our fridge in the middle of construction the ice maker decided to break. So I paid $200 for the part, and now I'm waiting for it to get here so we can fix it. I like ice in my drinks. My wife has been talking about getting a portable ice maker. I could have waited till Christmas, but I told her, listen, Santa heard that we needed ice, and here you go. She's happy. Now, I'm not going to say how much I spent. It's not a lot. That's why I don't want to say it. But these things go up to like $350. I spent less than $100.
Wow.
I found one that was on sale. I found one that was rated very heavily. I found one that I don't need a commercial grade one.
Yeah.
This thing makes 5 pounds of ice and then rotates and makes 20 pounds a day. It's like, that's plenty of ice. You don't drink First of all, mind you, the woman who, when we go out to eat, says Sprite no ice, wants an ice maker.
or the one that doesn't know how to swim. Hey, I want to go to the beach.
To the beach. It's like, you don't even know how to swim. Yeah, it's the funniest dynamic, or it's like the thing that they don't even like, they want. So it's like, oh, I always get drinks with no ice. So why do you want an ice maker? But I was like, I like ice, so I'm going to get this ice maker.
Wait. Let me ask you this: do you put when you serve yourself some milk? Do you put ice on it too?
I don't drink much milk.
Oh, I love, bro.
I drink milk, but I don't put ice in my milk.
Oh, okay.
I just leave milk in the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's cold. Try that once. It changed my life.
You? I mean, I'll try it. I've never thought about it.
It's like real.
It sounds like a milkshake with extra steps.
Nah. It's actually pretty good, even colder. So yeah, try that once in a while.
I'll give that a try today. The people, one of the things on our list is listening to financial podcasts, and the people who tune in every day. It's like, we really hope these things help you, because we're just sharing with you tips and tricks that we've learned along the way, that our careers have taught us along the way, that the mistakes others have made on behalf of us have taught us, and the mistakes that we have made have taught us, because you have to learn from the mistakes people made. Otherwise, you're going to fall into that same boat. And I think as kids and teenagers, even though our parents tell us that, it's like we don't listen, and we're like, we want to make that mistake. Yeah. Is it more impactful? I think so. I think it hits the lesson home harder because we actually struggled and we didn't just trust someone else. But going back on it, it's like, would I have preferred not to struggle? Like, with you, it's like, would you have preferred not to be $80,000 in debt and have a marriage that was on the rinks?
No.
You would be like, yeah, I mean, I learned a great lesson. It made me who I am today. But if I could avoid it.
Yeah, if I would have learned just a couple things, right? Just being mindful of what you're buying, I think that would have been so much helpful. Yeah. It's just, that's it, man. You don't got to go crazy every month, every week. For that. So that just itself, has been a very life lesson. Yes. Was that hurtful? Was that painful? Heck yes. Do I want someone else to experience that? No. So, but if you have to go through that for you to learn your lesson, then hey, you're going to have to go through that. But if you can take our advice and sprinkle it to your life, that's it. That may help you. If
we didn't make dinner for you, but we're salt.
Yeah.
And if your food's not salt, you gotta put a little bit of pizzazz on it.
That's it, man. With some Roy salt, the food's gonna taste better, by the way. So, but just have that understanding, like having a being financially freedom, being financially stable, being with no debt. Just those things itself, guys, will give you your best life.
Yeah.
Right. But as soon as you start increasing debt, now you're gonna start, being emotionally attached or not detached, or now you're gonna have to, it's gonna force you to do things that you don't want, and it's gonna keep you away from your family. It's gonna keep you away from the things that is really important to you. Now you gotta work on the weekends.
Just to pay for these things.
Now you gotta work overtime. Now they're not giving out overtime. Now you're mad. So it's like, yeah, man. I just, it's like asking someone this. Like, someone can ask me, it's like, hey, Roy, you only make $50,000. Okay. All right. But I have no debt.
Yeah. If somebody were to say that, right?
It's like, okay, I'm living my best life. Or you rather make 100,000 and again
struggle every day
and struggle. Yeah. It's like that's where I think, again, people, we got to understand what exactly is important to you, not to them, but to you. And then once you find that, bro, your life is so much better. Yeah. And that's it, man.
When you take away when items stop making you happy, you gain that confidence back. And, I'm going to go over these 7 tips before we wrap out of here. So how do we avoid keeping up with the Jones? We set up personal financial goals. We practice gratitude. We budget mindfully. We limit our social media exposure, because a lot of that stuff, when we watch it, it triggers comparison-based spending. Listening to financial podcasts, reading books, just educating yourself on what's out there and what can you do better. Adopt a minimalist mindset. Avoid purchases just to signal wealth. Nobody cares that you're wearing Gucci. It's not going to get you what you think it is. And then surround yourself with like-minded individuals. I feel like if anybody were to take these 7 tips and just apply them not only to keeping up with the Jones, but just to life, they'll end up being happier. And give yourself a plan. What are you trying to accomplish? We talked about this. We're going into 2025, guys. What do you want out of life? It's a car, it's a Gucci belt, or you want to be happy?
Yeah.
You want to be financially free. You want to work towards a goal. You want to start a business. You want to buy a house. You want to do make the goal big and then make small victories along the way getting to that big goal. And I think, I'm hoping that whoever's listening out there takes that and moves forward with it in a positive way. And join our Discord. We have a community that we're trying to build. And before we hide this thing behind a paywall, we want as many people in it as we can. Click the link below to join that Discord. I think I'm good. You got anything to add to this?
No, one thing I do want to add is the podcast. When are you able to listening, right? It's whenever you get in your car.
Yeah.
Whenever you drive from home to work or work to home, I would advise you to listen to podcasts or, again, positive things.
Ebooks are great too.
Or Headway, I think it's called Headway, that they read the books. And just listen to that. I'll tell you, your mind, your thoughts change because now you're thinking positive. Now you're working. Now you're thinking more towards what you could do in the near future, motivates you and all that.
And not what you should buy on Instagram because Instagram's telling you to buy it.
Or listening to the wrong music.
Yeah.
And you listen to the wrong music, now you're in that mode, right? You listen to hatred, well, now you're hatred mode, right? You're listening to this, now you're in sad mode, right? You just start thinking sad. So if you would to just try that for a week. We're not asking you to try that forever, but just try that for a week and let's see how that helps you. If it does, if it doesn't. But if you just at least try, I'm telling you, sooner or later you'll find something that is really going to help you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I would say, that has helped me in this year is just, listening to books, listening to the positivity more, because your own thoughts just get you in a bad way too.
Yeah.
So
they do.
And without even noticing, it's just goes, you start thinking that way. So listening to that it has stopped, and also reduced a lot of those negative thinking to more positive and more, how can we do this? How can I make my seminar better? And you just start listening a little bit more, and then sooner or later it gives you an answer. You're just like, oh man, I'm glad I did. So yeah, man, just try it out, guys. Again, we're here to help you, and again, just practice gratitude, practice saying thank you for what I have right now.
Yeah, my dad always says that. My dad says, don't be upset about what you don't have. Be grateful for what you do have.
Yeah.
And he said that all our lives, and it resonates. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, Roy. Thank you for your time. Everybody listening at home, whenever you catch this on YouTube, we appreciate you. And till the next one.
Yeah, stay blessed, everyone. Take care.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Parents and Pennies. We hope you found our tips and insights helpful. Remember, it's not about how much you have, it's about making the most of what you've got. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other parents who could use a little financial guidance. Join us next week for more real stories, advice, and the financial wisdom you need to keep your family thriving. Until then, keep making those pennies count.